Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to present to you the exam portal management system, a revolutionary solution designed to streamline and enhance the entire examination process for educational institutions. In a world where technology drives every aspect of our lives, it's crucial that we harness its power to improve our education system, making them more efficient, transparent, and accessible. So if we talked about the exam portal management system, so that is actually an integrated software platform that manages all aspect of the examination process. Like maybe from the there is a kind of, so I will explain all the process that how we are going to develop this one, what kind of functionalities it will have, what kind of functionalities we'll get based on the user. So if we talked about those, so let me these are the topics that I'm going to cover over here, like kind of the project details, then the flowchart of this total whole process, then what will be the admin related APIs. Like in portal, basically there will be two types of user. One is the admin user, another is the user, like the student or maybe any other who is going to attempt those questions or quizzes. Then we'll talk about the database tables, that what basically tables we are going to use for developing this exam portal management system. Then what tools basically we are going to use, like for developing this Angular, for developing this exam portal management system, what kind of tools basically we are going to use over here. And then finally we are going to create those projects. So now if we talked about this flowchart of this one, so this is the flowchart of this exam management system. That is, first of all, the user, if they are not registered into the system, then they can register from this portal, and it will save the data into the some tables, and then based on that it will it will save the data into the some tables, so that next time the user will be available into our system, and then accordingly they can log in into the system. Okay, so first is the registration. If already registration done, they can skip the registration process, they can directly do the login for this one. So after the login, we can identify that it is a admin or it is a like normal user, like a student or no. If it is a admin, then admin can, like, what they will do, first of all they will add, edit or delete or view the different types of categories, like what kind of categories it will be. Like maybe it will be a Java related category, it will be a SQL related queries, or maybe it will be Angular related, it will be Hibernate related. So these are the different types of categories. Okay, so after that they will also like add, edit or delete or view the like quiz. So they can add the quiz, they can first of all they can add the category. After adding the category, let's say like they have added the category 1 Java, then after that they will add some quiz. Okay, under the quiz, let's say like it's a kind of mock test kind of quiz, the heading of this one. Then after this mock test they will add some questions, like maybe 5 questions, 10 question, 15 question. Okay, so these are the things they will basically do. If it is not admin, then they can only just view the category, view the quiz, and from the quiz they can select the question and they can attempt and they can get the result. So this is the overall flowchart of this exam management system. Now if we talked about that feature of the admin user, like what kind of APIs they will get. So if it is admin user, so these are the like things, these are the functionalities they will get. If it is part of this category, so for the category they will do this, like save the category, get all the category, like it will be a get, then get all category by ID, then they can update the category, then they can delete the category. If it is a part of the quiz, it's again like it's a kind of CRUD kind of thing, create, update, delete, and create, update, delete, and the get. Okay, these are the create CRUD kind of thing. For the questions it's also the same. Okay, next, if we talked about the features for the students, so what student or candidate will do, they can view the category. From there, they will select different types of category, like maybe Java, SQL, or Python. Whatever they will choose, based on that, they will get the quiz. From there, they will select the quiz and submit the answers, and then finally they will get the view the results. So this is the overall things of this like flowchart wise. Next, like for the database tables, basically that we are going to use this kind of tables, like users for saving the user details, roles, like based on the roles we can decide that what type of user it is, basically it's a user or it's a admin user. So based on that we can decide. Categorize, here basically we are going to save different types of categorize. This is the kind, this is user underscore role, this is the mapping of this user and the role, like this user what kind of role it is having. Then questions, here basically we are going to save the question, and quizzes, it's store the quizzes details. Now the if we talked about the tools one, so if we talked about the tools, so tools basically we are having this Spring Boot 3 that we are going to use. JPA we are going to use JWT token because for login and we are going to use this JWT token. So that also I am going to integrate into the Spring Boot project. As a dependency management tool, I'm going to use this Maven, and as a backend, I'm going to use this MySQL database. Okay, so this is the like kind of overall idea that how we are going to like plan and project architecture, how functionalities are going to we are going to develop, what tables basically involved for developing this application. So this is the like overall ideas. Next, what I will do, I'll create the Spring Boot applications. Over there, we will implement all those functionalities that I have explained over here, like admin APIs, as well as the like user APIs, like normal user, like student or candidate, those APIs. Okay, so we'll implement all those things feature into Spring Boot application, and also like we'll develop on frontend applications. From there, we will integrate all the APIs so that we can view all those things from the front end also. So without further ado, let's create first the Spring Boot application. Once it will done, then we'll create the Angular project. So for backend part, I have created one Spring Boot application, as you can see over here, like exam portal backend, and that I have created using Spring Boot initializer. If you are not aware of it, like how we are going to create a Spring Boot application, so I will share the link in the description section so that you guys can get the details. Okay, so that you can follow. So then after creating the project from the Spring Boot initializer tool, then we have imported over here in the favorite in your favorite editor. So I'm using the editor wise like Eclipse editor, and here I am going to use. So as a dependencies, if we see like what are the dependencies basically that we are going to use, so as you can see that Spring Boot version 3.3.2, then Spring Boot starter data JPA, starter web, starter security, JWT related as we are going to use the JWT token for authentication part. So that's why JWT dependencies is required over here. And as database wise, I'm going to use this MySQL. So MySQL database dependencies I have added over here. Okay, so next, like if we talked about the database properties, so as you can see that we can start the port in 8081, and here like we have defining this schema over here, username, password, this driver, this dialect we need to provide, DDL auto. So the properties is helps us to, we don't need to create those table manually into the database. It will automatically create like based on the entity, whatever the entity we are going to defining over here. So based on the entity definition, it will create and update all the tables in the backend part. So you don't need to do those things manually. And this show SQL is basically is going to true, means it's showing those SQL while you are doing some kind of the database activities from the portal. So in the backend, it will shows all the SQL in the console. We can easily get the SQLs, like what SQL in the backend is basically running. So that's why this property is used. Basically, if it is false, then it will not print those SQL into the console log. Okay, so this is the kind of basic things. Now we are going to create those like different types of controller and the services layer. So now like first of all, we are going to create those models, like what kind of model are basically required. So for exam portal management system, let me create one model package over here. So let me explain like what are those models basically required. So this is kind of one authorities is required, which will basically implement the granted authority for this is coming from the Spring security. So the required is this is the one third entities is required. Next is for like JWT request. So basically whenever we are going to authenticate any username or password, so for that we are going to use this username and password. So this is the like request for this one. Next, after request, we are going to get the response. So for that, we are going to in return, basically it will return the token so that it will successfully, means after username password we are providing, it will return us one JWT token, and particular this token we are going to log in from the portal. Okay. Next is like role user and the user role. So role we are going to create over here like this one. Okay, and it's having this user role mapping. So user and the user role we are going to create over here. So these are the models that basically is required. So as you can see, this is the tables roles which having this role ID and the role name, and it's having this all the user role mapping. Okay, And if we talked about the user role having these two mapping, only is the user, another one is the role. Okay, so these two mapping is user role having, and user having these are the parameters like ID, username, password, first name, last name, email, phone, if it is enabled or not, and profile. So these are the like kind of like details that entities basically. Next, we are going to like which are basically related to the exam portal. So regarding that also we need some few entities over here. So now that I'm going to create over here. So for that, basically we are having some kind of category, question, and the quiz. So these are the three uh, exam related models basically. If you see over here, this category is the category ID, title, description, and is having this quizzes. Okay. Questions also having these question IDs, content, images, if we have some images or not, then options 4. Okay, and what is the answer will be. Okay, and then it's having this quiz details. So this is basically about this question ID, titles, description, then maximum marks, number of questions, active, and the categories and questions. Okay, so these all these are part of this like models. Next we are going to create the like repository. Let me create one package over here, dot repository. Okay, so here we are going to keep all the repositories over here, because like uh, we can't we are going to like keeping all this repo means database activity related things over here. Like basically repository will talk with all the like databases, right? So it's also having some kind of method also we need to create over here under this over here. Like let me say this category repository, which will basically extend this JP repository, is having this category, and the primary key will be the long. Questions repositories, this is also same. Okay, quiz repository, these are these three kind of sequels we are going to use in our project. So that's why I've created already all those things. Role repository and the user repositories. Okay, so these are the repositories are now we have created over here. Next, basically, we are going to create the service layer, because like service layer, once it will be done, then we can like easily we can use those things from the controller part, right? So before that also, like we need to create some kind of the security configurations, which will basically responsible to like doing the uh, what I can say, doing the like login and all those security kind of things. Okay, so let me create one package over here, and here basically we're going to create one configurations class, like let's say security config. So here basically we're going to create this configurations related all the stuffs over here, that what API basically we're going to use and what kind of API we're going to restricted. So those are the information we are going to keep over here. So as you can see, we have used these configurations, annotation, enable web security, and the enable method security. Okay, so next we are going to create one basically over here. We are going to create some like security bean actually over here. Okay, so let me add this particular bean over here. Okay, so here as you can see that here basically we are going to use this authentication provider and the password encoder. So that basically we are going to create over here this authentication provider and encryption password. Okay, and authentication password also we need to add over here. So for provider we are going to use this authentication provider. Here we are going to use this user detail service bean we need to use. So for that we are going to create another bean over here, this user detail bean, and this user detail service basically we are going to use we need to create one user detail service impl class under this service packages. So let me create one service package over here, dot service. Okay, so now is the detail service impl we are imported over here, and we are going to create one filter basically which will doing all the filter kind of thing. So let me create this here. Basically we are going to create another class which will do the authentication filter kind of things. So it should be extend basically like this, extend one per filter. Okay, so internally, like it will, once we have used this one, then we need to implement this method, do internal one. Okay, so here basically we are going to write our logic, like let me add the logic over here. So we need to create another actually JWT utility class, which will basically doing all the here. So for this JWT util class, basically it is used to, like whenever we are passing any token like JWT token in a header as a bearer token, then from the token basically we are going to extract the all the information, like we are going to extract the it's the token is basically generated based on the like username, then expirations, all the algo kind of things. So from the token, once they will pass, then we are going to like we are going to extract the username from the token, and also we are going to extract the expiration kind of thing, and we're checking that it is valid or not. Okay, so that's why this JWT utility class is doing over here. Like it will extract the username from the token, it will extract the expiration, extract the claim, extract all the claims, and also it's also responsible to creating the token. Like how it will going to create the token, as you can see over here, we're setting the claims, setting the subjects and the issuer at, expiration, sign with, which is the key, this is the key. So these are the information, basically information we are going to keeping over here. So regarding the JWT tutorial, already I am having a separate tutorial in my channel. I will provide the link in the description section, so that if you want to understand the detail about it, so you guys can understand from the detail like how this JWT token is basically worked. Okay, so here I'm not going to like focusing in more detail about it, we are just using it. Okay, so next basically we're going to use this filter over here, like in this authentication filter. Okay, we are going to inject two beans over here. One is the like one is the user details service impl, another one is the JWT util. Okay, so this is about this filter. Okay, now in the security configuration, basically also we need to use this filter, basically this JWT authentication filter here. Okay, okay, so this JWT filter means what it will do, basically it will first, it will permit all this, means because while we are generating any token or when user is trying to log in or registration, then we are without token, basically those information we are going to allow, right? But other than every endpoint should access, without authenticator we are not allowing to them access. Means once it will basically means we have passed through the login, means we have generated the token and we are having all the informations over there. So then we are not allowing to, after login basically we are not allowing to call any APIs without token. So this is the kind of token generation and all the stuff related to that. So that's why this configuration is needed over here. So next basically we are going to create the service like a layer for all the services, like category services, question service, quiz services, then the user detail service I have already added, and user services. So let like try with this from the user services. Okay, so let me create one service over here, create class user service, and it should be annotated with the service annotation, right? Because this class will be treated as a service annotation, means we are going to write the business logic over here. So here basically we are going to use two repositories, one is the user repositories and another one is the role repositories, because this user service is basically responsible to creating the user and get the user and delete the user. So for creating the user basically we need the role. So let us create one method over here which will basically doing the create the user. Okay, so how the create user will be like is basically used. Okay, how the create user will be. Okay, let me create to customize exception over here, dot new package dot exception. Okay, so here basically we are going to use two custom exception. One is the user not found exception and another one is the user found exception. Okay, so user found means user already available. So first of all, whenever we're getting this username, so first of all we are going to search from the repository by the username that this particular user is already exist into our database or not. If it is not exist, if it is exist, then we are not getting this null. If it is a not null, that means user is already available into our system. So in this time we are going to throw this exception like user found exception. If not, then we are going to saving the details. We are face the we are save means get the roles over here, and based on the roles we are going to save the details into the database. So in this way basically we are going to save the details into the user detail. Next we are going to get the user. For getting the users basically like we can directly from the repository we can directly fetch by the username, and now like we can delete the user also. How we are going to doing that? Like using this user repository dot delete by id. Using this also you can delete the data from the repository. Next, like as user service is already done. Okay, so next we are going to create another services. So let's say it's a category service. So let me create another service which will uh, doing the category related things. So all the things will be kind of what you can say, it's a kind of CRUD operations kind of thing. Okay, so we can create this service layer over here. We need to annotate this particular class with service annotation. Next basically we are going to add this, we need to use this category repository over here because all the operations will be related to the category related things like add category, update category, get categories, then get category by id, all categories, and the delete category. Okay, so for all those top kind of things we are going to add over here. Okay, so as you can see over here we need to add this model over here. Okay, so first of all for adding the category basically we need to take the input from in over here, and then we are going to save the data. Similar kind of thing for updating also, and get categories, and then like get categories it will fetch all the like data. Okay, and then it's a get category by id and delete category. Similar kind of thing we are going to add the question services which will basically similar kind of things like add, delete, update, all the stuffs like add questions, update questions, get question by id, get question of quiz, delete question, and the get by id. So these are the like services basically required. Next is like quiz service. This is kind of like little bit is over there, but it's also having the same kind of things like add, update, delete, get, delete quiz, all the things over here. Okay, so these are the like all the services that we need, and these particular services basically we need to call from the controller. So first of all we need to create one controller like authenticate controller. Okay, so let me create one package over here. Okay, and here we are going to create all the controller. Okay, so here first of all we are going to create the authentication controller which will doing the all the authentication related activities like generate the token, then create the user. So if we want to generate the token, then it will basically taking this request JWT request, it is having this username and password, and over here we are just doing the authenticate. So authenticate, what it will do, it will just using the authentication manager, it will doing this authenticate. It's an internal mechanism. If you open this one, authentication manager is the internal class, and it will doing the authentication. So as we have write all the JWT related stuff over there, that actually basically doing the authenticate. Now if it is not throwing any exception like user not found kind of exception, then it's fine, else we can say we can return that exception, that user not found exception. But if it is a properly authenticated, then we can get the user details, we can generate the token and return the token in the response. Okay, if it is a create user token, then create user then we are going to get this principal from over there, then we are going to get the current user basically, not the create one, it's a current user. So by this username we can get the current user over here. Okay, so next we are going to create another controller, which is the user controller. This user controller is basically responsible to creating the user, get the user, and the delete the user. Okay, so like you can see that create user, we are going to this user details over here, that user entity, and this is the user, and from here we are going to set the like profile over here, default and then a password, whatever the password they are passing over here, then setting the roles, default role, that is normal user. Then we can set the role, and we are saving the data, means using this we are going to create the user details, user into the database. If we want to get the user by username, so we can usually we are having all the methods over here. Using this we are going to get the user detail, right? And similar for the delete user by user ID, and then it's a custom global exception. In case of any exception, then it will return the exception. So next we are going to use the category controller basically. So next we are going to use this category controller. It's also having different types of like APIs, like creating, adding the categories, get category by category ID, get all the categories, update the category, and delete the category. Okay, similar kind of thing we're going to create another controller over here, which is a question related controller, which also having the similar kind of as we are having for the like category and others, like adding the questions, update the questions. If we want to like mapping, like for which quiz basically those questions are, so for mapping this is the needed. Over here we are going to get all the quizzes over here, and then we are going to mapping those things. Okay, then get all the quiz by IDs, questions IDs. Based on this we can get, based on the question ID we can delete the details, and we can also evaluate the quiz, means we are going to return the result of those things. Okay, then we are going to use this quiz controller basically, and this quiz controller is having like adding the quiz, update the quiz, get all the quizzes, then based on the ID we can return the quiz, delete, and get quiz of the categories, get active quizzes, and get active quizzes by quiz IDs. Okay, so these are the basically that APIs we are going to create over here. Okay, so this is the overall things that how we are going to create all the things over here. So next what we can do, we are going to create like we can start this application. So it will basically start in the 880 port, and then it will basically create all the tables into the database, and from the postman we can check, but we are going to directly integrate all the APIs from using the like Angular. Okay, Angular front end. Okay, so then from the like we can check all the things from the over there. Now if we open the like database, as you can see all the tables are over created over here, like category, questions, quizzes, roles, user role, user. These are the sequence created default. So actually we did not do anything, we have not created manually. It's automatically, once it will start, then it will automatically basically created all the things into the database. Okay, so here in the log basically you can also see that all the things are started fine, like it's generated the MySQL, it's started in 8081 or 81 port. Okay, so all the things are done now. So next basically what we will do, like we will create Angular applications, and from there basically we are going to access those APIs, that whatever the API we have created over here, all the APIs basically we are going to access, we are going to integrate from the Angular portal. Okay, I will also add the like I will put this code into the GitHub, so that, and also share the link in the description section, so that you guys can use. And next we will create like this Angular application, and from the Angular API Angular we are going to access those these are the APIs. Okay, so next we will create the Angular application. So now, as I said, like we are also going to integrate all those APIs from the Angular part. So I've created one Angular application, as you can see over here, this exam portal UI. Over here you can see that two components, means there are multiple components is basically needed. So first of all there is one navbar which will consist the login and the like home, and like as you can see this menu book, and there's a heading, then login, then register, then log out. Clicking on the login, it's a log out, and the username. All the operations will be done under this navbar, right? So now suppose if we see the in the TypeScript file, so in the on it basically it's doing the clicking on the login, it will going redirect to the like here you can see that subscript means calling the get user and all the informations while in the login one. Then after that it will basically doing the kind of all the stuffs over here. Okay, and footer is also like it's a kind of it's nothing is basically over there, but in the like pages basically like in the login pages, if we open the TypeScript file, then here you can see that once it will click on the login button, then form submit, then it's basically doing some kind of basic validations, and if all the validation are passed, then it's basically going to call this generate token, right? Here you can see that generate token, it's a post request, and here it's calling the generate token one. Okay, after getting the generate token, then it's doing the login the user. So after this here basically it's doing the token into the session, so that in the next later phase we are going to get those details into the into in some other places also. Then we are fetching the current user details, and accordingly it will redirect to the either admin or the like normal portal. Okay, so based on that it's happened basically. Okay, so next after the login basically it's landed into the home page. So home page we are showing some kind of this text over here. Okay, and in a profile page we are also going to like doing some kind of like username, user ID, and all the IDs basically we are going to shown over here. Okay, and sign up for this page over here. Then user basically will load the quiz basically, so quiz page is developed under this one, and then sidebar over there, then instruction over here. So all the details we have over here. So if we start this application, then we can get all the details for this one, right? So like if you can see that user details dashboard over here. Okay, in dashboard we are just showing this outlet only, this sidebar, these are the like integrated over here. Okay, and these are the services that basically it's basically doing the category kind of things, like for calling talking with the category related operations, all the operations under this category. Similar for this login service TS, similar for the question related all the operations over here. Similar kind of the quizzes, so all the similar kind of matter that's just over here. So now if I start this application, then Angular application, so we can start using this ng command, ng server. So once it will start, then the default port is basically to use that 4200. Under this 4200 port is basically it will start. Then we will see the demo that how this uh, basically it's integrating all the APIs through from the Angular to the backend. Okay, so meantime also like I've already like started the application. So I see, okay, we can start this application. Let me start this one, so that we can like actually we are going to call all the APIs from over here. Okay, and we'll see that all the databases over here. So we are going to means we can see that how the data is also populated in the in all those databases. Okay, so let like start. Okay, it's saying this. Okay, it's server ng start basically. Ng sub. Okay, okay, let's see, it will take some time, then it will start basically. Once it will start, it will default basically start in 4200 port. As you can see over here is okay, it's got failed. It's okay, let's try. Sometimes it's trying to download all the things and all build, but sometimes getting the SSL issues. So that's why we need to set this node option equals to this open SSL legacy provider. Then it will basically it should build all the things. We are getting issues over here. Let's try over here. as you can see over here, the build is going on, and as you can see, the build is already done now. Okay, now we can start in a localhost 4200 port. So you can see that exam portal is up now, right? So from here we can see that two section, login or register. So currently we don't have any like user into our system, so we need to store some register first of all. Like, so let register two user, one is the admin and another one is the like normal user. Okay, then first name is admin, last name also, let's say it's admin, email address admin@mail.com. Okay, and the phone number is, okay, so we can register. Okay, enter a valid number. Okay, so we can do the register and is registered successfully. Now if we open the database, okay, it's okay, let's see that what happened. Basically in the console we can see the details in console, that reading IDs and all. Okay, so the thing is that we need to use the cross origin. Okay, it's cross origin in all the place. Invalid token. Okay, token is not valid. Okay, now again let's try with this one. Let's see. Okay, now you can see that successfully done, means user got created. And also like we can see from the database over here, so you can see that data got created over here. Okay, so the role is like another role should be here. Role is will be create, need to create, like let's say one, and this is the like admin role. Okay, and this is the like normal role. Okay, now if we just need to change the role over here, like in user role mapping, so here instead of this 45 it will be a 1. Okay, so this is the like admin user. Okay, now we are going to create another user, like let's say it's a kind of student. Okay, student, let it same, then student name, keep it as student, then student. Okay, email it same, like you can do the register. Okay, so this is done now. Okay, so next basically what we can do, we can let's say like do login. So let's try login with the admin user. Okay, so now if we do the login over here, so we can see that different types of options are available over here, right? The profile, so from here we can see the profile pages, then categorize. So currently there is a no new category, so we need to add the category. So let's say Java. Okay, it's a kind of mock test kind of thing. Okay, we can add more like so categories got added, we can add some more categories over here. SQL related questions. Okay, so questions, this is added. So next we are going to add the quiz. Okay, so let's say mock test for exam, for exam, maximum marks for example 20, number of question 5, and category let's say it's a Java. Okay, so we can add this quiz over here. Next, in the quizzes we can add the questions. So you can see that max marks is this 20, question is 5. We can update from over here, we can see the attempts, we can delete, we can also add the new quizzes from over here also. Okay, now if we want to add these questions, we are going to add 5 questions over here. Let's say question 1. Okay, options, let's say 1, 2. So you can see the details over here, we can like put the all the options is, let's say the second is the first, second is the correct answer. Okay, we can add the question number 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and here let's it's a 4 or 2 added. We can add the like again like 3, question 3, 1, 2, okay. So these are the like questions. In this way, basically, you can add those all those questions over here. Question 4. Here you can put the options. You can choose the options. Okay. So these are the like questions are added done now. So now if we log in from over here, like we can logged out from over here, and we need to logged in as a student. Okay, now if we logged in as a student, then we can see that this is the question, right? So mock test, and this is the, so now if we can view from over here also, and also you can start from over here. So this is the kind of instruction that we're going to start this. Let's start. Here you can see this one timeline over here, and you can see this, these are the questions are coming, right? So here we can choose the options over here, like whatever the options. If it is corrected, then it's give us the correct answer. So we can, if you want to submit, then you can submit from over here. You can say the marks is obtained 2, correct answer is 2, question attempt 4. So out of 4, 2 is success, and total marks is 10. So in this way, basically we can, all the things means we can get all the details and we can communicate to the Spring Boot applications. Okay. So this is the like overall things that how we are going to develop this Spring Boot applications with Angular, that exam portal management system. So this is overall the things that how we are going to like access all the things. Okay, how we're going to develop and integrate all the things. So if you guys have anything, please do let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Please press the bell icon for further notifications. Thanks for your time. Bye bye, see you in my next videos.